Welcome back to the Elanix AI YouTube channel. We help you save time, save money, and avoid the headache with our AI systems. In today's video, I'll be taking you through a live tutorial building the Aurora agent for a dental company in the UK. And they're looking to streamline their lead qualification as well as lead generation process with a simple form, an automated form. As you can see, I'm on the Elanix AI website. You can visit the site, book a demo, or do a free demo, and you can also sign up. So when you click sign up, you're taken to this form, which is what we'll be building today. Gets the customer's name, email details, as well as deadline, budget, and the services they're looking for. As soon as this form is filled out, the business owner or the manager of the company will get an email notifying them that the form has been filled out, as well as an AI summary and an AI measurement on whether this job is urgent or not so urgent. And that's going to be very helpful in saving them a lot of time, because right now they manually respond to each inquiry as well as get all of this data from the customer themselves in sometimes a very time consuming conversation. So let's get started. We're going to go over to Airtable, where we build out all of our systems, and all of these links are in the description if you want to sign up, maybe even build along with me. So we're in Airtable, and now we're going to build out that form that I showed you. Okay, so the first thing, we have our name in the corner. You can also customize your icon. Now the fields, all of these fields will be the fields that you see on the form. Okay, so you want to include every single thing that's going to help you, every piece of data that's going to help you in your process. So the first one, name, customer name, can stay the same. Second one, we can make this the email, and Airtable has a bunch of different formats. Here's the email, perfect. Okay, now we can maybe add a phone number. Okay, there you go, and we can have a single select for the services that they're interested in. And that's one of the things I love about Airtable, is you have all these cool different fields that you can customize. So the first one would be training, and the second one we're going to call platform. Let's choose some cool colors over here, maybe blue, purple. Okay, perfect. Then the next fields we're going to do aren't going to be on the form. That's pretty much everything we need. Maybe we can add a budget, or let's say a time scope, and save that as a long text. Confirm. So all of these fields that I've just added here will be displayed on this form as such. Maybe we can add another long text, one more long text. Then we can say additional details. Let's correct that. Perfect. So now I'm very happy with those fields. When somebody fills out this form, we'll have every single piece of information we need, as well as additional details in case we missed anything. The customer can fill that out. Now we're going to create some private fields that will not be shown on the form, but will be very helpful to us. So the first one will be a lead score. And essentially what will happen here is we will use AI to score our lead from 1 to 10 based on the job, the budget, what they require from us, as well as their time scope. So maybe 10 can be a very good job, a very realistic type of job to do, and maybe a 1 or a 2 could be something that's either due very soon or something like that. But the lead score is going to help us, and then the status is very important. A single select status cell. And here we're going to say new qualified and contact. Okay. These single select fields are very important because we can automate them. So as soon as somebody fills out this form, the default value will be set to new. Whereas if they if their form is qualified by the AI, let's say that the budget and their time scope is perfectly in line with what the UK company is looking for, then it will automatically be put onto qualified. And as soon as they emailed or contacted in any way, the status will automatically change to contacted. So it's a lot of helpful things that we can do with this whole status field. Very important whenever you're working with Airtable and make.com, you always want to create some sort of time-based field. That's going to help the system keep track of when changes do occur. You can just leave the name whilst modified. Okay, and then if you're working with a team, alright, a large team of people, what we'd probably add on here is a user field, and that's going to allow us to assign a certain client or record to a specific team member. So that's pretty cool, and that's probably what we'll do. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to leave it out. So that's our form basically done. Now we can go over to forms. At the very top here you see data, automations, interfaces and forms. We'll go over to forms to create a form. Let's just rename this table. Call it form leads. Okay, building your form in Airtable is very simple, but it's also very fun. You create stunning looking forms, and once again, all our fields that we initially put in are transported into the form. Okay, so let's just name this Dental UK for now. Okay, there we go. So now we can have a description, which I recommend you do, as well as a privacy policy. You probably want to link that in your description. Once again, for the tutorial, I'm just going to say please include additional details. With the pro plan or the team plan of Airtable, you can add your company's logo as well as a cover image, adding even more customization to it. You got your name, email, phone, service, and the service is a drop down, time scope, additional details, lead score. So something like lead score, which should not be shown on the field, on the form, sorry, we're going to actually take that off. Just going to delete it over there. And then status as well, we're going to delete that. And there you go, that's the form ready. So we're going to hit publish over here. Okay, and that's it. The form is online. We can share that with a link. We can put that on our website. We can do many things. So this is going to do a little bit of loading. But the reason, and there we go. Anyone, copy link, close. So we can share that and people can start filling it out. Let's go back home. Awesome. Now our form is done. What I'm going to do now, which is one of the very important things when you work with Airtable, is the different types of views we can create. I'm going to say create new, and I'm going to say gallery. I'm going to call this dashboard. Okay. And the reason why this is so important is now we can build an entire application which can be held on our mobile device as well. That's going to make things, it's going to essentially make a custom app. As you can see, it's going to list everyone that fills out our form with their score, their status, maybe even the date. Okay, and we're going to fill out this form, okay, to really test it and show you how it's going to work. So let's just say John john@email.com. Okay. So if I'm a customer, I'm filling this out. And click submit. Oh, I think I need to open it. Okay, let's do it again. Okay, so I just submitted a form as a customer, right? Role playing to be a customer. I'm going to go to view data over here in this little corner. And if you're building this with me, following along with me, then I recommend you also just fill it out as a pretend customer. And then have a look at what you see in your dashboard. Okay, so as you can see, the second anybody fills out this form, it gets inputted in one of these cards over here. Can I delete these? Let's delete these empty ones. But as you can see, what would happen is maybe after a very busy day, you'd have about 10 of these cards that you'd have to look through. We're going to make it even easier by having AI generate a summary on whatever the customer puts in here, giving them a lead score, and then we can even automate contacting, sending them an email, maybe a welcome email, and everything is on the Elanix website. All these agents are modular. We use all of them in-house. So from the forms that are on our website to the invoices we send out, that's all handled by our onboarding copilot, which could integrate with our sales copilot that would send them a live payment link that allows the clients to pay the invoice as it gets sent out, as they fill out the form, which makes things even quicker. Okay. So now we have a form. We can confirm the data is coming through correctly, even in grid view. We have our customer over here with all his info. Now we're going to go over to make.com, link in the description as well, and we're going to connect this to OpenAI, ChatGPT, and allow AI to generate summaries, give lead scores, as well as automate actions, right? Send out emails, invoices, so on and so forth. Okay, we're in make.com now, and we're going to be building the back end of this automation, truly adding some leverage, the leverage of AI to this whole entire system. The first thing we're going to do is name our scenario. In the top corner over here, I'm going to call it UK Dental. Okay, and the first module we add in a make.com scenario is the trigger. That's the action that sets off the whole chain of events that we want to happen once a customer fills out the form. So for that, we're going to add an Airtable watch records, and that's going to watch. It's basically going to sit and watch this screen, and as soon as a new record is added into this database, it's going to trigger this scenario. So that's going to allow for instant action, when something happens, and that's what we're looking for. Okay, UK Dental. You choose your table, form leads. I'm always a big proponent for naming your scenario, naming your tables, naming your forms, because when it comes to connecting them, as you can see here, everything is very neat and organized. Trigger field, this is why you needed that time-based value, last modified. And then for limit, I will keep it on 1. The problem with leaving it on 10 or even a number like 5 is you might just end up doing duplicate actions. The system might just do contact people that have already been contacted. So one is the safest and best option to go. Everything else here you can leave out. Label field, we could say name, but there we go, we can save it. From now on, save. Now we're going to add our next module. Okay. And we're going to add an OpenAI module. Now, there's always more things we can do with Make.com. We can always extend it, improve it. One thing you could do optionally before adding this OpenAI module is adding an email verification, maybe some sort of Hunter.io. I don't know if Apollo.io does it, but Hunter.io module. Add that before ChatGPT to make sure the email the person has typed in is valid and receiving emails. So now we're going to say create completion. Okay. Adding connections, very simple. There's always going to be this purple text. It's going to take you to the documentation to help you out. Tokens, always 2000 is way too much. Let's say 200. Okay. Model, pretty good stuff here. GPT 4.1, pretty good. Okay. Then I'm going to say the system. Start with the system prompt, and that's, like we discussed before, giving the context to the AI so it can execute a little better. So you are a lead Okay, so once your system prompt is done, you always want to include some examples. We can add the second message and say user. This is going to take the role of any person typing their prompt to ChatGPT, and this is where we're going to include all of these variables that will be pulled from Airtable. So we can say client name and then just refer to the actual name. What else? The service. The time scope. And additional details. There we go. So now the OpenAI is getting fed the name, the service they're looking for, their deadline, and any other additional details, and it's tasked to provide a short score. Good lead, bad lead, more information needed, so on and so forth. That's good, we can save it. Okay. The summary, the AI summary, we are going to build within Airtable. We'll need to connect Make.com to it. So once you're happy with your OpenAI model, Of course, this is a tutorial, but I encourage you to expand heavily on that prompt to really get the most out of it. We're going to add another Airtable, and we're going to say update a record. So we can update the exact same record that it pulled its data from. We're going to go to UK Dental, table, form leads, record ID. You're just going to click on ID from there. Name will be the same, you don't have to put anything in there. Email, phone, services. Yeah, lead score, we'll put the result of our ChatGPT prompt. And then our status, we're going to change that to, I'm going to add another field in here actually. I'm going to add an option for process. That way they'll be able to know AI has already had a look at this client and has already assessed them. But whether they qualified or not will depend on the actual info. Okay, save. Now I can come back here, just refresh this. Okay. Process. Save. Okay, hit the save button over there. And with any make.com scenario, you have your trigger options, your schedule settings, and this could make it check every 15 minutes. But mine is going to be on demand. So as soon as a new input is put into the form, it's going to run. It's activated. Okay. Cool. Okay. So now our scenario is built out. I'm going to test it out and see whether we fill out the form instantly. OpenAI should process that and give us a lead score. Okay, so let's go back to the form. Okay. Okay, submit. There we go. So there we go, it's running, it's picked up the customer. And if we click on this little one here above the GPT module, we can have a look at the output. And as you can see here, ChatGPT has said this client is not a good fit. It is a mismatch based on what the client has filled out on the form, which was asking for a dental app as soon as possible. Okay, and right now this company only provides training. They don't do software development or anything like that. And if I go back to the data, right? So there we go. We have Kayla at dentist.com. She needed a dental app ASAP. Lead score is bad and their status is processed. Okay, so the next steps from here, the client has signed up for the platinum edition of Evora, which means that there will be an automated outreach if the prospect is marked as a good lead, alright, a good job. Depending on the timeline and the budget, they will automatically get sent an email with either a booking link or some sort of proposal. If it's a mismatched client like this, they will automatically receive a regret email or maybe an email asking for more information or something like that. But that entire part will be automated, along with the fact that this will become their CRM. They'll be able to change the status of the customer from here. As you can see, once it's contacted, they'll be moved to another form where they won't be taking up space over here. They could also be added to Elanix AI Echo, which is a newsletter you basically white label for your own business. So for this dental compliance agency, as soon as they're marked contacted, they are added to the newsletter, or maybe it sends them an email to opt in, get added to some sort of newsletter. So the possibilities are endless. But overall, that is the tutorial. You should have a working AI lead qualifier, because that's essentially what we built here. And if you have any problems with this, if you're struggling with something, put it in the comments below. I hope this was educational. Don't forget, if you need anything, right, visit the Elanix AI home website. And once again, with Elanix AI, it's more than possible.